Well, good morning to all of our early YouTube viewers. We're coming up live in about a minute and a half. Invite you to stay with us. We just wrapped up an exclusive interview with the doctor whose team worked with William Shatner. I'm sure you heard the story. It's gone worldwide. But nobody has been able to get the full info like we have. Wait till you hear what this doctor had to say about William Shatner and beating stage 4 cancer. It's all coming up. Fox 10 Talks, about 30 seconds away. It's 10 o'clock, and this is Fox 10 Talks. We have so many big stories to get to you this morning, including now question marks about whether a, quote, fatal mistake might have been made in those first crucial days after Nancy Guthrie went missing. Our friends at Fox News have really been digging into this story. We're going to find out a lot more about that as Fox 10 Talks gets going today. And then we really hope you can stay with us over the course of this hour, because coming up within this half hour, we just talked to the doctor who's in charge of the clinic where William Shatner gets the devastating diagnosis that he is stage 4 cancer. At about the same time, his daughter is diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. For her, it was breast cancer. For him, it was melanoma. And they're both in remission. It's incredible. And so we were able to actually determine who that doctor was. We have the exclusive interview coming up with him this half hour. Celeste, a food city got demolished today. We're not in favor of that.
No, never.
No, we love food city.
Especially if it's a location where they actually make the tortillas.
There you go. But it's actually, believe it or not, being demolished for a very good reason. Well, you find out what the new plan is, and then you've got to see the video. I love how calm the highway patrol officer is as a Lamborghini goes zipping by him at 137 miles an hour. And so he gives chase. You're going to see the whole thing as it unfolded. And so, yeah, it's we've got a lot to get through this morning, and we're glad that you're going to spend some time with us.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. And let's give a couple of you guys a shout out here this morning. Louis Gonzalez, good morning to you. Chloe Garza's chiming in on the chat, Ron.
Chloe.
Are you new? I don't know if I've seen your name pop up in the chat. So it's good to see you. Thomas Brown, good morning to you, my friend. And Mikey McCormick, Ron. We've got a lot of people.
All right. Welcome aboard, Mikey McCormick. We really do appreciate you guys watching. Let's get right into it. Here is the story. So in an interview with Fox News Digital, Kash Patel, you probably already heard about this, did speak out and say time is so important in those first 24 to 48 to 72 hours. And he said local authorities waited 4 days before requesting the feds' help. And he says by then, now that they've kind of gone back and looked at it, it's quite possible that critical security camera footage was likely lost forever. Nancy Guthrie's Nest doorbell, as you know, was taken during the abduction, we all saw the video. You know, the guy there, he's got the glove. He's kind of fishing around, trying to cover it up with a plant. The whole behavior was really strange. But now that they've looked at it, as you know, agents were able to work with Google to pull some of the previous images of the guy. Bikash Patel is saying there could have been earlier footage from whether it was an hour earlier or a day earlier. It was just, if it had been there at one point, it was gone. And so the FBI did do what they could, but the problem is now that they have really looked at it. That was, in fact, they were interviewing this one expert who said it's quite possibly a, quote, fatal mistake that they didn't bring us in earlier. We haven't heard any kind of reaction from local law enforcement, from the sheriff and all the rest there. But wow, to think about that there might have been that one clue. She wasn't paying for a subscription service, so they were lucky to get what they got. But what might have been there before?
Well, and it took a few days to get any type of movement, any type of information on those videos. And I know a lot of you in the chat and people in the community in and around Tucson, especially those Catalina foothills, there was a lot of concern over whether or not the case was being handled and managed appropriately. So there already had been some skepticism surrounding the case and how it was handled. But now we're officially getting some movement on this as Fox Digital has kind of dug into the details. And so we'll see what happens next. We'll see if there's the fact that they're very quiet about it. We know that the detectives are still working the case. So hopefully someone within the local government down in Tucson, maybe we hear something from them or, from some of the sheriff's deputies or some of the people working on the case.
And if you're not familiar with this area, it is the people who live in the Catalina foothills, they love the lifestyle they have. It is laid back. It is homes on maybe half acre to larger lots. So there's some privacy in between. Apparently there are like no city street cameras anywhere in that area. It's not well lit. And over the long term, will changes be made in that regard for future crime fighting efforts? I guess we'll find out what the city decides to do in that regard. But boy, it's disappointing to hear after all this time. You thought about it, Celeste, and it was like, oh, we have that clue. Remember the day it came out? I think everybody thought this will be the clue that cracks the case. Now we learn there could have been more. But boy, with a four-day delay, it just makes it so tough.
Well, and for I have a girlfriend from high school. Her parents live in the Catalina foothills, and I've been visiting her since high school. Over the course of year to year, she has children of her own as well. And what I will tell you, it's one of the most beautiful parts of Tucson. It's raised up in the hills. It's probably never going to change. People move there specifically for a reason. They want a little bit more open space. They want views of the city, and it's a little bit cooler. In that part of Tucson as well. And so our thoughts and prayers are with the Guthrie family, and hopefully we have a little movement on this case.
Hey, we are really glad to welcome Megan Spector once again to the big microphone here at Fox 10 Talks.
Good to see you guys this morning.
You had a story, you go out, you report on a story, and then we kind of do a recap on the morning news. And the story is just amazing, the damage the storm activity did up at a really beloved attraction here in Arizona, the Out of Africa Wildlife Park. But what did you see when you got up there?
Yeah, so the reason we went up there is because they had posted on their Facebook that they actually had to close their doors because of this storm while they worked to rebuild all of the damage. And we got there, you could see the damage right away. They had these fences that were all lined around the giraffe enclosure that were completely toppled over. This is video they shared with us from Tuesday's storm, and you can just see that water was flowing through it, knocked down fences, moved the land in some areas down to these muddy holes. holes. And now they have their volunteers and their staff out there working to rebuild to keep, all those animals secure. Now, I will say one of the biggest things people were asking about, all the animals are safe. They're all accounted for. So that's amazing, but they've got a lot of work to do.
Where are they keeping the animals right now?
The animals are still there, so they're all still safe and enclosed. There's just damage to a lot of the fences and surrounding areas, what they call the people fences that keep the people a little far back. And then that hole that you see right there, that's supposed to be a path that you can walk right up to the fence to.
Yeah.
And to put things...
look at the rhino up there.
I know, that's the one positive.
They're probably loving the mud
like,
puddles.
I think some of the animals enjoyed getting in the mud. But to put things in perspective, there was a hole there. I walked over and I was wearing rain boots. Within 2 seconds, the rain boots were completely covered in mud. I was sinking to my knees because of how much mud and just damage there was around the area.
To your knees?
To my knees. The photojournalist I was in had to put his stuff down and pull me out with both of his hands because it felt like I was in quicksand.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like quicksand. It's like a bad episode of Gilligan's Island.
Well, we've all talked about how as kids we all feared quicksand and nothing ever happened. But for you, oh my gosh.
That's what it felt like. But that kind of puts things into perspective of the staff and the volunteers they have there. They're trekking through things like that to make sure all the animals are still fed, still healthy, and all of them are good and accounted for.
I think we have some of the highlights from when you were up there. Let's listen to this.
I've been here since 2009 and I've never seen it flood like this. Oh, it was raining sideways. You couldn't see. So it was very messy, very rainy, and water was flowing exceptionally fast. Most of the damage really came with all the brand new fencing that we had for the enclosure to keep the giraffe a little bit more contained, and that's been broken with all the debris and the extreme water that's come down. Cleaning out debris and sludge and mud away from the fence line so that we can better support that fence line that's kind of leaning right now. That's the biggest thing, and filling the hole with dirt. I wish I could say that we could just get a huge crew in here of tractors and excavators and everything, but we have to keep the animals' peace in mind with everything that we're doing.
Wow.
Yeah, and also that fence that she's talking about that we saw along the giraffe enclosure, that was built within the last year. They were given a $15,000 grant to make that possible, and now they're kind of back to square one to make that, all safe for the animals and the people again.
One of the beautiful things I think about our community is hopefully in a lot of cases there's businesses that see, like your story, Megan, and they may step in to help and say, we can come out and help you repair the fence or put a new fence in, especially because it was a grant and they desperately need to fix it.
Exactly. And I mean, she said it at the end, they can't just bring all of this big equipment in and do everything quickly because they're trying to protect the animals as well. So it is going to take some time. They are asking for donations, so we have a link on our website as well. But one of the biggest things she said, she's like, we just need dirt. We need dirt to fill a lot of the holes and fill the land. So hopefully a company can step up and bring some dirt to them.
Hey, we got about a minute left before we hit the break. Celeste, I don't know if we need to create a new award for Megan. Who was your photojournalist, by the way?
Undrell.
Okay, with Undrell.
He's so wonderful.
But the word circulating in the newsroom is you guys had to climb up some poles or something to get the video? What happened?
We did. They have a zip line there. So we climbed up the stairs so he could get a nice aerial shot of...
Did he go down the zip line?
He didn't go down the zip line.
Did you go down the zip line?
I did not go down the zip line, but that'll be next visit. When we're covering a different side of the park.
You know what? That actually would be a great story to go back in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, however long it takes, to show how they've recovered.
Exactly. We can go on the zip line then.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I reported there live maybe like 10 years ago on the zip line.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you're going to have a great time next time you go back.
That's my next goal.
By the way, for people who are watching who are from mostly here in the Valley and they haven't traveled a lot, it's basically a little more than an hour's drive straight up the I-17 north from here up into the Verde Valley.
Exactly. Not too far. Wasn't bad. We got there. It's a great place. I mean, of course, we're covering the damage there, but we also got to see all the animals, and they're so cool and so awesome. So everyone should go check it out when they do reopen.
Wow. Okay, Megan, fantastic.
Thank you, Megan. And thank you to Undrell. What a hero.
I know.
Pulling her
we
out
have
of
the
the
best
quicksand.
team coming up after the break. We have the man, the doctor, who helped William Shatner fight his stage 4 cancer diagnosis. You are not going to want to miss this. Okay, there's your preview of the Mystery Cam. Boy, look at those verdant green pastures out there. Where in the USA is it? You can give us your guesses coming up in about 15 minutes. Celeste, this is one of those days where we are really able to kind of show off our #1 reporting team here at Fox 10. We just had Megan on, and look who joins us now.
Yeah, Justin.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you
Good
for
morning.
coming in. You have a big investigation that's airing tonight.
It just ran yesterday
last night.
Yeah.
Tell us more about it.
Oh, so basically this Mojave Valley man, a little far out there, but he was at a gas station on tribal land. He was encountered by an officer with the Fish and Wildlife Service. So this is the federal government here, and they get into an intense exchange of words.
Oh, this is it right here.
This is here. This is the exchange, and there's some choice words. And once he called him a name that I will not repeat for apparently committing a misdemeanor. The man behind the camera calls the federal officer name, and the taser is deployed, and that leads to, as you guys will see right now, a burst of flames.
Look at that.
Yeah, because this is at a gas station. There's combustible materials, flammable materials, the vapors, all that. And so this is what you see. You don't get to see anything else after this, exchange. But I would advise anyone who's interested in watching it. Our full report is on YouTube right now. This man has suffered first and second degree burns. But I think, this is the man that
Clarence.
we interviewed exclusively, Clarence Coyle. But I think the question here is, when should the stun guns be deployed? And we looked through the policy for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and it does warn officers to refrain from using this device when you are near combustible materials, like at a gas station.
So this was a wildlife officer.
This was a wildlife officer.
At a gas
first, we were
station.
like, is this AZ Game and Fish?
Oh.
What happened? What led up to this? So apparently Clarence had gone to the Havasu National Wildlife Refuge, and I think he was going to go fish with his friend. He was told, hey, you can't be here. He said it was an open gate. We really don't know much as far as that encounter. He says that this officer told him, you got to get out of here, and this is you're trespassing, basically. So he leaves. 20 minutes, I guess, down the road at the gas station, there is the officer. I guess the officer beats him to the punch and gets to the Thalipo gas station on Fort Mojave Indian Reservation land, asks for his ID. He doesn't want to give him his ID, and hence this all happened. So we got a brief statement from the department, and they said, this is under investigation.
So did you have, was it body camera footage, or
This
was
is cell phone.
just cell phone video? Because I'm going to read this. It's a cell phone video from Clarence's point of view, captures the tense standoff. And this is part of your investigation last night that aired,
Yeah.
I'm guessing, yeah?
Yeah.
And he says in the video, you're going to go to jail. All I'm asking for is your license right now to identify you. And then Clarence says, what am I being arrested for? And then the officer says, you're not cooperating for having committed a crime.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what you're looking
We're
into
trying
as
to
well.
figure out, okay, well, according to Clarence, it was, trespassing on the refuge land. He was headed to Catfish Paradise, but he turned around, didn't even get out of the car, didn't go fishing, didn't do anything there. They end up in this predicament. And so he has the stun gun pointed at him as he's saying, give me your ID. And I think as far as the comments that we're getting, a lot of people are like, whoa, did he have to deploy the stun gun? And that's, the part of the questions we asked the department, who says, well, this is under investigation. That's a part of our policy. Whenever a stun gun is deployed, we have to review it. So that's what's being reviewed.
And so would it, I don't know how far you've been able to dig into it, would it be standard policy if the gate was open that you would be arrested? If the gate was open.
The gate was open according to Clarence. And I wish that we had, video of that, of what happened 20 minutes away or 20 miles away. Right. But he says the gate was open. He didn't even get out of his car. And the officer, he said, was very terse with him. He's like, you got to get out of here. I'm going to cite you for trespassing. So he leaves. For whatever reason, he follows him and somehow sees that he ends up at the gas station. So that part is a bit hazy. This is what we have on video, and it is very, shocking video, to say the least. But he's recovering from his injuries and says he was never contacted at the hospital. So there was no one that followed up, took a report, or arrested him for this alleged misdemeanor. So really, they left it alone after that. I think once the shock of it all and the medics came, this officer leaves it alone. Nothing else happened after the fire. So yeah, he's very traumatized, and
imagine.
that's what we exposed yesterday. So
all right, great work.
Check it out if you can.
Where can we find it? It's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's already on there and doing really well overnight. About 12,000 views so far.
Yeah.
So I think I think the video is very compelling and says it all. So.
All right, great work.
Okay, Justin,
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Hang
Thank
tight
you.
for just a moment here. We just managed in the last hour, Celeste, to line up the William Shatner story. The whole country is talking about it because here's a situation where we learned that both Mr. Shatner, 95 years old, I believe,
Yes, he is.
and his daughter in her 60s both get stage 4 cancer diagnoses.
Right, so they're both battling cancer the exact same time, and both have now beat cancer at 95 years old. And Big D, he's been on the phone. He was able to get a hold of the doctor who actually, was working with Shatner, was treating him.
Yep. Okay, so you're going to hear that interview. We just taped it right before we went on the air here at 10 a.m. This is Dr. Hamid Omid from over there in Los Angeles. And when you hear what's going on in the fight against cancer, 2 family members fighting, beating breast cancer, significant melanoma, it's really quite incredible. Here we go. It's an exclusive here at Fox 10. This is Dr. Omid Hamid with Cedars-Sinai. He's speaking to us from Los Angeles today. Should we be as, I guess, pleasantly surprised as so many millions of William Shatner fans are that he was able to beat stage 4 cancer, and at basically the same time his daughter was able to beat a different form of stage 4 cancer?
Right. So, Ron, this is a great question. I'll tell you, here at the Angeles Clinic and Research Institute, what we have done is worked on novel therapies that have now become standard. So their successes are, separate, but come together because it's in the same family. Bill has been able to benefit from the next wave of immunotherapies that are available, that weren't available a decade ago. And you shouldn't be surprised. What we're seeing here through drug development, through the ability to take these novel drugs and take them through clinical trials and then combine them, is the ability to, create miracles. Bill had a metastatic melanoma, which had a survival of 6 months in the past, and now has survival past 6 years. It's not surprising that he did well. We have seen that throughout. Now, his daughter, I'm not familiar with her story, but the same things. We're making breakthroughs in multiple cancers, and outcomes are improving, whether it's through immunotherapy, whether it's through targeted therapies. As you've seen, the story for pancreatic cancer has changed, and whether it's through ancillary radiation and surgical procedures. What I will say is both Bill and his daughter sought the counsel of experts at leading institutions like the Angeles Clinic, like Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and I would tell every patient to use that example, is to seek second opinions from major centers that are doing clinical trials, even in the newly diagnosed patients.
What are these drugs called? Are they oral medications? Can you tell us a little bit more?
So the immune checkpoint inhibitors are a class of drugs that reignite the immune system. For example, the PD-1 inhibitors like nivolumab and pembrolizumab that have become standard in all solid tumors. They're intravenous. They're given in every center now and have become standard in first line or second line or in any situation for a multitude of cancers, including breast cancers, gastrointestinal cancers, skin cancers, lung cancers, colorectal cancers. So these are, a decade ago would have been experimental, are now standard.
Well, Bill Shatner, as you call him Bill, William, the rest of us, I guess you guys are on a first-name basis, he actually sought the treatment there with your team. Is that correct? And what did he have to say afterwards? Did he give you a great big attaboy?
Well, William is an amazing character, above 90 years old, working like, a teenager. So he was never, ever negative. He was always positive and came and sought the opinion of our cutaneous, our melanoma program. And we had a lovely discussion about it. There were some things that were unexpected that happened initially, and we were able to work through those. And now he is cancer-free.
Dr. Hamid, we really appreciate your time.
Ron, it's been a pleasure.
Just incredible, Celeste. The progress that is currently in our lifetime in 2026 is being made is amazing.
Well, and just I know there's several different comments in the chat talking about, insurance costs and things like that. Likely an experimental medication. So you're right. It's probably not covered under insurance. But hopefully with some of these big cases that are getting a lot of media attention, maybe some of the companies will say, okay, we're going to cover this for certain cancers or maybe all cancers.
Hope so.
In the future.
By the way, he was one and is one of our all-time favorite guests. Do you remember the day William Shatner visited with us? Stand by. Look at this, would you? Look at him there. He looks younger every year.
I'm your biggest guest. Oh, gee, what a shame. Your thing is failing as we talk.
He's so hilarious.
That was one of the best interviews we had on FTT. He was so fun. Talked to us like we were sitting with him in his kitchen, as you can see.
Yeah.
And just a cool guy.
He really, truly is on our top 10 list of favorite interviews ever. Okay, so we're so happy for him and his daughter. The news is all really good.
All right, here's your mystery camera this morning. Where do you think this is? Throw your guesses in the chat. If you're on television watching, go to YouTube, find fox10phoenix.com and the live button and throw your answers in there. We'll be right back.
All right, everybody. There's your mystery cam, Celeste. I love the fact that St. Joshua is looking out and sees, I'm telling you, it's Minnesota. And yet here's Paul Humphrey who says, no, it's Alabama. I mean, we could be 1,000 miles apart, and they both look like real possible options.
All I know is this is a beautiful community. Imagine just running wild through that big, pasture,
Sure.
just so beautiful.
Right? Just you in your swimsuit, maybe.
The birthday suit, Ron?
No,
okay,
no.
that's
See, I went swimsuit, Celeste. Once again, right over the line, Celeste.
We're on YouTube. It's okay.
Yeah, true. Outlaw Dynamo, Kentucky. Linda is saying it's Missouri. We have so many Minnesota guesses, Celeste. I'm going to go the land at 10,000 lakes. How about you?
So I might go with Mary Young, who says Illinois.
Okay.
And because Mary, I'm not sure if you've been with us before, but you sound very sure of yourself.
Yes. Okay.
So let's see.
Here we go.
All right, Mary, we're wrong. Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you would think you'd see a few more hills there, but I will just say, Celeste, driving around the day I was in Lexington, that's a beautiful campus for the University of Kentucky. By the way.
Yes.
But you drive around, you see all of those horse ranches, and every one of those ranchers is hoping that they are raising the next winner of the Kentucky Derby.
I know.
It's a beautiful part of our country. Okay, interesting story today having to do with the latest polling. There have been a lot of reports that we might be headed to a blue wave in 2026. And Emerson College came out with this new poll that says the generic ballot, where people are simply asked, do you go in November, you pull the lever or punch it or whatever it is, are you going to vote for a Republican or a Democrat? Democrats have moved to their biggest lead yet of 11 points over Republicans. And so this prompted us to say, well, I wonder how things are actually looking. Arizona sometimes bucks the national trend or can jump right into it. So let's take a look on our poll question. Right now on our QR code, where this is for our viewers, for people who are watching. It's really the only way to access the QR code. 19% are saying I'm with the Democrats all the way. 20% now. 73% say I'm voting Republican. And 7% say could really go either way. It kind of depends on the candidate.
All right, let's take a look at some of your numbers on YouTube. This one is on fire. 1 hour ago, Democrats hit 11-point lead in a generic ballot. So how will you vote? We've got 2,000 votes on this one. And actually, I think this could have we may have to do a requeue on this poll.
Okay.
Maybe early next week, because this one is going to go nuts.
Wow.
So right now, this one aligns with what we're seeing on television. This YouTube poll is primarily people on YouTube, and we have a ton of comments, 136. So for Republican candidates, 56% say I'm going to vote in that direction for Republicans. 36% say Democrats, and we got Big D. He's here with us this morning. That's a lot of comments, brother.
So many comments. You can join the conversation on fox10phoenix.com/poll, as well as on YouTube. BWJ1F says, I will be abstaining from voting. I can't get myself to vote Democrat, but the Republican Party has lost me. I bet there are tons of us. Pepsi Warren 2957 says, I was a staunch Republican with a son named Reagan, but after Trump, I'll never vote Republican again. And MKO 385 with a nice reminder, please check your voter registration status and do your homework on candidates. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep the comments coming.
So I'm always interested in seeing where the details are with this survey. Okay. I've taken polling courses with my master's in public policy, and let me give you a couple of survey details when it comes to these, because a lot of times it depends on how they ask the question.
Okay, yeah.
It depends on how many people they asked. Yeah. So this one conducted July 19th through the 20th, so fairly new. 1,100 people, likely U.S. voters. They just asked people, do you vote, or are you a voter? With a 2.9% margin of error. So there's some details for you. Women voters were favored by Democrats by a 27-point margin. Democrats were leading 53% to 42% over Republicans. And Emerson polling, Emerson is located in Boston, Mass.
What about the guys? Did it say the?
It just said over the men. Women voters favored
on that kind of a margin.
Yeah, 27 over men. for Democrats.
Okay.
So just a couple little details for you.
Once again, your master's pays off big time.
Good, because it was expensive.
Why don't you submit that as an expense to our finance team?
Here's the thing.
Because it's paying off every day.
I took it because I thought that maybe I'd work for a campaign or I'd be a speechwriter or something eventually. Right. But it actually helps in everyday life, including the job that we have now. Because everything, we give you the news, right, from on our typical news format and our newscasts. Yeah. But there's only so much time that we have. That's why this platform works, where we can give you a little bit more substance to the studies, the polls, and the stories that we have.
And I was just thinking the same thing. I mean, the way it all came together to get the doctor, I would imagine every news outlet in America wanted to talk to him today.
Yeah,
we got him.
Exactly.
Because it's a streaming show and it's just kind of, well, let's see if we can get him. We got him. Let's see where we can fit it in. Let's just go.
Yeah, let's just go with it.
And the other thing that we love on these streaming shows this
is a great shot.
Is to be able to take you out live we have a great
Do they know we're live?
Yeah, you guys are live. Pick up your camera. The folks at Harvest Compassion are, look, there we go.
Hi, guys.
The folks at Harvest Compassion are amazing, and we are trying to help them out in more ways than one today, Annalisa. Part of it is just by talking about it. The other part is rolling up our sleeves and joining in.
Yes, both of those things. And they said they actually got a lot of calls after our morning live shots, which is really encouraging to hear people learning about this as a resource and then also learning about this as a way to volunteer. And that's what our folks are doing today. We have a bunch of people from Fox 10 here volunteering. They have been for hours helping people. This is John in charge of all our photographers. But we've had them here helping people, pick out the food they want and get the shopping experience. And it also extends to clothes. So there's people over there in the clothing boutique picking out some items as well. It's been a really, really great morning to be here and experience this.
All right. So have you had a chance to talk to some of the organizers out there? What are they saying about it all?
Yeah, well, you know what? Actually, let's bring you in with Linda. So we've talked to the executive director all morning, and we're also going to talk to Linda. She's a volunteer that's been coming every single week for 5 years. Good morning. Thanks again for taking time to chat with us. Just tell us how you got started in this.
Well, when I retired several years ago, I needed something to do to fill my time, so I would feel like I had a need somewhere, and I came up and I took it, and I've never gone back.
Yeah, what keeps you coming back for 5 years at this point?
I'm very blessed, and I feel like I'm making a difference in people's lives by helping them out here.
Yeah, well, you really are, and she's just one of the many volunteers that keeps this work happening and this place operating in the way it does.
Annalisa, that's so great. A couple of questions. First of all, a lot of our employees are out there today. We have one of the higher-ranking executives in the newsroom, I believe, Neil Wolf. Would you say he's been the hardest worker of
Is he sweating?
all of this guy right here? That's what I'm
camera.
talking about. Yeah. I'm just worried he's overworking and he needs to hydrate.
He's breaking a sweat, Annalisa.
Yeah, you know what? I had Ty ask me who's working the hardest, and I said I have multiple bosses here, and I can say they're all working very hard. He's leaving the building because he doesn't want to be on camera. But we also have our general manager here, Mike Lewis here, so we got a lot.
That's a good statement to make. All of our bosses are working very, very hard.
That's excellent. That is just so great.
Yeah.
Well, it's
exactly.
a big commitment
And I'm not going to say who's working the hardest.
Okay.
Because everybody's working.
By the way, where is it? I'm sure there are plenty of people who want to take advantage of their services.
Definitely. You know what? They have 4 locations, and I'm going to bring in the executive director here, Nicole. They're asking, so you guys have 4 locations. Where can people find them?
Yes, so we are in North Phoenix, Scottsdale. We're in West Phoenix today. We're also in the Maryville community, and then our newest location is in Tolleson. So our website, harvestcompassioncenter.org, has them all listed. They can go to any location at any time.
All right, and that's where people can also find out how to either get connected to the resources or volunteer their time.
Absolutely. The website's the best place. We're also on all the social media platforms, so Instagram, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Find us, follow us, and then find more information about us.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nicole. Actually, really fast, guys, while I have her, you guys also have a school drive going on for back to school. Can you just share those details with us?
Yes, so back to school, we're trying to send every kid with a brand new pair of gym shoes for back to school. So go on our website. There's actually an Amazon wish list. You can send shoes right to us or drop them off at any location anytime.
All right. Thank you so much, Nicole. So you guys, you can see there's a lot of good work happening here. And it's honestly a really good time.
Oh, that's so great.
We got a lot of good people here at Fox. They're doing some good deeds out there.
Thank you, Annalisa.
Thank you,
Yes,
Annalisa.
such good work. It's a well-oiled machine here. Bye, guys.
That's
Bye.
so great. Notice all the smiles on all the faces.
I know.
It's so wonderful. Hey, Celeste, did you, I mean, I don't want to do a hard transition here from all the smiles and everything, but if you looked up in the sky and you saw this, I think the smile would go right off your face and you'd be a little worried. Did you hear about the dragon that was flying in the skies over Scotland?
Like a pterodactyl?
Here we
type
go.
dragon?
It's possible. How would you like to have awoken to this in Glasgow, Scotland? So apparently, look at this, would you? In the early morning, it was apparently a promotional model of a Syrinx from the House of the Dragon. Because of all the popularity of Game of Thrones and other shows like
absolutely.
it. That is so cool.
That is so crazy, though.
Yeah. I don't know. Was it battery operated or what?
Maybe it was on a drone or something, drone institute. You know what I mean? I
Let's
don't
do
know.
that. Let's start dressing up our drones to frighten people because they look like dragons up in the sky.
Honey, come out here, honey.
So wild. Hey, one other quick story, and then we got a quick break and a lot more to cover. That's for sure. But we will be talking about them all coming up in the next few minutes here on Fox 10. We have, there was a big vote out in Gilbert, Arizona.
Yes.
They raised those water rates so much, people were shocked. The next thing you know, the council members are up for election. How do you suppose that went? We have it for you. It's all coming up.
After a quick break, we'll be right back.
Wow.
Ronald. Oh.
Here we are, Celeste. I don't know if I want to do a individual mystery cam for you, but as we've been looking at this skyline and that great big freeway that brings you right into downtown, I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
Our beloved former Fox 10 morning anchor Rick D'Amico.
Cleveland.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, he was on the radio in Cleveland many years ago. Renee and I stayed here last year in downtown Cleveland.
Yeah.
And we did a little hiking, walked over to that waterfront that you saw a minute ago. Downtown Cleveland is super fun. They have a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there.
Interesting. We don't have control over these images, Ron, and it's like they know that they're on FTT.
Yeah.
Because they're giving you kind of like a panoramic view of this really great city, and probably a lot of history, a lot of high rises. It's like there's some history there with those historic high rises, like the one right there that has the pointy little roof. A couple of them do.
Right. Looks like something out of the original Superman movies
like
from
Gothic.
back in the 50s or whatever, right? Yeah, it is. It does kind of have that look. Anyway, Cleveland, we love you. Hey, back here in the valley, actually right on the edge of the valley, we just learned a couple hours ago that the road is closed. The highway that people love to drive. Look at the damage, Celeste, from these storms. This is the Apache Trail, State Route 88.
Yeah.
Indefinitely closed.
Yeah, you have these crew members who are out there trying to fix this up. But what happens is we've had so much storm activity, lots and lots of rain. This is in the far East Valley. Is it farther out than Apache Junction? It's out that way.
Yep, right.
And there were some strong cells that went through this part of Apache Junction and this part of eastern portions of the Phoenix metro area. Yeah. So the roads are a mess.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, I was laughing with Melanie, our executive producer, earlier this morning. When I moved here back in the 80s, you saw these bumper stickers everywhere. They said, "Pray for me. I drive the Apache Trail." I mean, it is an adventure, and you cannot take these curves at a high rate of speed. There's a thing called Fish Creek Hill that if you miss it, you go right over the edge, and there are still burned out cars down in the bottom of that canyon from years of people missing that curve.
Well, there's no railing.
I know.
That's the kind of funky part. If for all of you who've never been to this part of the valley, there's no railing, and so it makes that roadway, especially at night, very dangerous.
Oh, just don't even try driving.
Yeah, don't even do it. But here's a look at it. One of our crew members went out there and got some videos. You have some portions that are paved and other portions that are just dirt roads, but look at how narrow it is.
Yeah.
So it's closed indefinitely right now until we kind of figure out what's going on. I think they just want us to be safe.
Yep. No doubt about it. Okay, so let's talk about the destruction of a Food City store. Now, normally we would be very opposed to that.
And sad and crying.
The demolition. We love Food City. Celeste would be crying.
Yeah, I used to go to the one, Food City. My grandmother, for those of you who've been here in the Valley a long time, would go to the one on Mojave. It was Mojave, I believe, over there. Okay. It was like one of the OG Food Cities. And I was little, and she would put me in the cart, and we would go in there, and she would go down almost every aisle. And it's a Mexican, grocery, but they have all kinds of American stuff as well, and especially over the years become a lot more Americanized. But they have a tortilla factory in some of their locations.
So great.
Horchata, aguas frescas, Ron. Yeah. You would love the watermelon juice.
Love it.
Love it.
Here's why they're tearing one down in Tempe. They got big plans. Here's Danielle.
Yeah, good morning, guys. A really exciting project happening here. So this is Apache Boulevard, and you may remember that there was a Food City right here, but as you can see here, construction is well underway. The demolition of that Food City, making way for so many apartment units. This is awesome. Mayor Corey Woods of Tempe, this is a really fun project. You guys have been working on this for quite some time.
We have been working on it for quite some time, and I'm glad you mentioned the Food City because that's kind of where the story starts. Back in September of 2021, when Food City announced they were closing, I got reached out to by a couple of residents in the Apache Boulevard corridor who said, what can the city do to try to find a way to bring a grocer back to this area? It's one of the fastest growing parts of this community, and we're going to be now without a full-time, full-service grocery store. And so the city actually spent well over $10 million acquiring the site back in late December of 2021, and now it's going to be not just simply a grocer, but 400 new apartments, 90% of which will be affordable, 10% of which will be market rate, but also a considerable set aside inside for our senior population as well. So it's an exciting project, and people should start occupying it probably by the end of 2028 for the first phase.
Yes, that is amazing. And your main focus really here was to provide that housing for affordable housing. There's so much access here too. We have the light rail. There is bike lanes everywhere. So a lot of options here.
Well, absolutely. And one of the reasons why the city liked this property so much is clear access to transit, but also when we actually own a piece of property as the city, a lot of the profit motive is frankly removed. And we have the ability then to partner with people in the private sector to bring affordable housing for our first responders and our service industry workers and our educators, to make sure that everyone, regardless of what income you're making, can still afford to live, work, and play here in our community. So this was a really critically important project at a great location, and I'm so excited to see it coming to fruition this morning.
Yes.
All right, so they got big plans. And by the way, when we fly the Skyfox drone, it gives you a completely different perspective.
Yeah.
That was really interesting.
Yeah,
right?
it really does. And by the way, there's lots of Food City locations still alive and well, Ron. So
Yes.
they're going to build these homes here and hopefully offer people an alternative. Because here's the thing, Ron, housing in the Valley has gotten so expensive
It sure has.
that our families in Arizona, they just need an alternative. Like if you don't want to pay a crazy amount of money, where can we find some affordable housing around here?
I know.
Working class parents, it's expensive to put food on the table.
And they're building a lot of new homes out in Apache Junction. I mean, by the hundreds and hundreds. And so they're doing the same thing out in the West Valley, out toward Goodyear and Buckeye and up in Surprise. So we're building as fast as we can, as opposed to a lot of other communities.
That's true.
But people want to live here and they keep moving here. So anyway, supply and demand. Celeste, they always say, don't they? You can't fight City Hall.
No.
But apparently you can. Because these are 3 council members in Gilbert, and it looks like, they were facing re-election. It looks like the voters were fed up with what was going on in the city, and they've been voted out, at least until we get the final word. They are definitely trailing newcomers in the vote counting. It's the water situation.
It really is. That was and has become one of the biggest stories in the East Valley. They had a 25% hike back in April. I was sharing with you and Dave that I was chatting with a realtor yesterday at a cool house in Phoenix. She's from Gilbert. She said that her water bill used to be somewhere around $100 a month, and now it's $350.
Oh,
so it's gone up
at
more
her house.
At
or
her house.
business?
Her house. So that's a month. And so she said that, she knows, and they shared this in some of the meetings, that they'd gone way too long to raise any rates. It had gone a number of years. But I think, if anything, this is an example for the rest of us as we gear on into election season, that you can, share your opinion with your vote.
Good point.
So if someone isn't doing the job that you think they should be doing, whether or not it's a federal office, a state, a city like the city of Gilbert, you can share your thoughts with your vote.
I don't know if I ever heard a good explanation for why it was so sudden. And why did it have to be,
so much
more than a double-digit increase? And they were looking at doing it multiple times. And somehow from a planning standpoint, if you could gradually see the cost going up every year, I just feel like there's more to learn there.
And I think there was something she shared, and we'd have to look into this, and we've talked about it with some other lawmakers on the federal level, at the state, when when these big businesses or big homeowner home building companies come in, they should pay a portion of the infrastructure to build whatever needs to be built.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of forcing the residents of Gilbert to maybe pay for infrastructure, you should force the home builders to pay for some of that.
The interesting thing about that is Gilbert, believe it or not, is actually getting closer to being built out.
Yeah.
I remember when I first moved here, I was out there for the Gilbert Days Parade.
Yeah.
And it was 82 or 83. I believe the official population was about 5,000 to 6,000 people.
Yeah.
Now it's like 150,000 plus.
Yeah.
It's such a nice community.
It really is. And the East Valley has just boomed. I mean, my grandfather was born in Chandler, and I asked him, Tata, where are you born? In Chandler. Okay, where? On the corner right there in Chandler and Rural. I'm like, what? In a house? Like on the corner? Like, if you look back a number of years, we were very small, but not anymore.
Yep. For
Not anymore.
Okay, so we have got to talk about this guy in the Lamborghini. Now, this is great because you're going to see the whole thing from the viewpoint of the highway patrolman. He's just minding his own business, driving down the road. All of a sudden, you're going to see a Lamborghini from over here on the right come zipping through.
It's not Ron, don't worry.
You're correct. Yeah. Celeste, I like to spend $30,000 for cars, not like $500,000.
It's so crazy.
Anyway, it's less than a minute, but you watch the whole thing from beginning to end. And I love how calm this guy was as well. So ready? Here we go. 137 mph.
County, northbound, the turnpike, approaching the 408. It's going to be a red. It's like a Lamborghini. Shut it off. So you know you're being placed under arrest for dangerous excessive speed. You're going to be transported to the Orange County Jail. So I'm towing your car.
Now, that is Orange County, Florida, as opposed to the Orange County we always talk about right next door over in California, but he was on the Florida Turnpike. I guess that was actually a sheriff's deputy. Didn't you love his calm demeanor?
Very much so.
First on the radio, he's like, all right, this is happening. Here we go. And then he just walks up to the window and says, all right, come on, get out.
This guy, and then he slams on. He's like brake checking the cop. He's like slams on his brakes. Yeah. And then he pulls over. You know, at least the
He's
guy.
not screaming at the guy or pointing a gun at him.
And at least the guy knows what he did was wrong.
Yep.
He's like, all right, I'm getting out.
Well.
But this is also a warning, Ron.
Yes, it is. Celeste.
Don't go 137 miles
There's
an
a
hour.
reason we have 65 mile an hour speed limits, even though everybody goes 80.
Yeah, but you know, it's easy to go pedal to the metal in those cars.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
I don't even want to look and find out how much they sell for because I'm sure it's incredible.
Thank you for watching, everyone, on this Thursday. Ty and Anita. We have a studio audience here.
One of our best shows ever. We're so glad you were hanging out with us. Yep, that's right. Ty and Anita are next.
Nope, we got to turn the mics on too, remember?
Ty's having a fit.
There we go.
How's it going, everyone?
So,
Fox 10 Talks at 11.
I have relinquished control of the board to Anita today. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a control freak.
Which you took from me, the control.
Okay, now we're really getting into it.
If you guys scroll through my Instagram, day one, I sat here, you sat there.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't want to have anything to do with the
And then I said, Ty, maybe you should learn, like, when I go on vacation.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I like the buttons.
I do like the buttons.
You
but
like
now,
control.
I'm just going to, look at this. I'm in the, just in the passenger seat.
He's in a full panic attack.
He said that this is first class, this is coach.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's cramped over here even. So we'll see
I don't
what
know,
happens.
Crystal. Save him?
Yeah, why don't I just talk about weather?
Yeah.
Process your emotions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You put a 115,
Oh, yeah, actually, I'm probably going to give you a new anxiety attack.
Yeah,
There's more. It's worse. It's worse.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want your graphics?
Sure, pop them on up.
Okay.
It's already so hot out
Well,
there.
how about this? Here's a live look at the downtown camera.
And
Is that something you
looks
would have
beautiful.
done, Ty?
Sure, I guess.
Sometimes it's like working with a brother and a sister in the middle of a fight. Take a look right now. Temperature 106. That is the current temperature at Phoenix Sky Harbor.
Whoa.
It is 11:01 and we're at 106. So, gulp. Yeah. I'm hoping we stay at my forecast of 113 because it's already pretty warm out there for us to be still 5 hours away probably from our peak heating of the day. We're at 88 right now in Payson. We're at 80 already in Flagstaff. We're already at 90 in Sedona, and we're already at 108 out in areas like Lake Havasu and Yuma. So basically the whole state is cooking already. And remember, the hottest day is like yet to come. So as we go from right now throughout the afternoon, that area of high pressure doesn't move around much. It's still centered over Texas. But the area of high pressure is going to continue to move our direction the next few days, Friday into Saturday, and then like late Saturday into Sunday, it starts to sort of creep farther northeast, which is good because as it creeps further away, it'll pull the temperature back down and it'll open the door for more monsoonal moisture to start flowing back in. But in the meantime, these next few days, as it's creeping this direction, so I'm back here like this is Friday, there's your early Saturday, that kind of puts a lid on us. And how do you get water to boil faster? You put a lid on it, and that's what we're doing. So the temperature is going to really start to heat up these next few days. In fact, enough so that we've got a new extreme heat warning for like about half the state. The warning went into effect this morning for Maricopa County, the northwest corner of Pinal County, and all of western Arizona, and then it'll last all the way through Monday evening. So this is a long warning for the Grand Canyon below 4,000 feet, and then for up to like Page and Powell, Lake Powell, it starts tomorrow morning, goes through Sunday, and then down in southeastern Arizona, Friday morning through Saturday evening. So for Friday and Saturday, there is an extreme heat warning in place. So a good deal of the state is under an extreme heat warning because of these temperatures. Not that we haven't dealt with them already this year, we have, but it still is always kind of like, especially when we've had such nice conditions, or nice-ish at least, these last couple of weeks. So the forecast high today is 113. Again, I mean, gosh, we might be knocking on a 114 even. Ooh. Just because of the fact that it's already at 106 and it's not even noon. But it's really up there. 115 tomorrow, 116 Saturday.
Ooh,
we don't break records each day, but we are very close. In fact, tomorrow we're within like a degree of record. So we'll see. We could potentially tie it by tomorrow. And then we fall short Saturday by a few degrees, but still very hot forecast through Saturday. So, you know, I love my stats. I went and looked. So far, we've had 13 days that have been at 110 or hotter. The average to this point in the year is 12 days. So we're pretty much running what is a normal stretch of heat so far that we've had, even though it seems like it's been surprisingly cooler than recently. It's more so just 23 and 2024 and even 2025 were some of the hottest we've ever had. So it's made this year feel, wow, it's been so nice. And in reality, it's like, no, it's still pretty typically hot. The average amount of 110 or hotter days we have in a whole year is around 21 days. So we still have a ways to go. And the next 3 days, as you just saw, are looking to be at like that 110 plus territory. Let's take a look at the futurecast, because even though for the valley things are looking dry, there is still a chance of some storms, guys, up in the high country. So I just want to remind our friends that are watching up in, if you're northern or eastern Arizona, scattered showers and storms start early afternoon, and they will last throughout the afternoon before they kind of calm down at night. But yeah, overall, it is going to be hot. And I should point out, too, that it's actually still going to be fairly humid as well. The forecast has us with some stickiness even on Friday and Saturday. So at like 116 and sticky weather, not the best. There's the forecast around the entire state if you're looking for your highs. 94 in Winslow, 88 in Show Low, 104 in Safford. So basically, everyone's a-cooking.
Yeah, for sure. These are some of the warmest temperatures we've had so far, right?
Yeah, if we hit that 116, that'll definitely be the hottest that we've seen so far. So
buckle up.
I mean, it's July. This usually happens in July.
And it's almost August. In like a month or two, it's done. We're fine.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Back to perfect weather.
Right.
Yeah, perfect.
Exactly. Thanks, Crystal. We'll see you back here tomorrow at the top of the 11.
Sounds good.
Your invitation. All right, what you're reading, you guys. Let's talk about that on this Thursday. We have a couple of web stories that everyone is eyeing today.
This one's kind of wild. Listen to this. He called a federal officer a name at a gas station, and then seconds later, he was on fire. So a Mojave Valley man suffered burns after a U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service officer used a stun gun on him while he was at a gas station igniting a fire. So the department's policy dictates that electronic control devices should not be used near flammable materials.
Wow,
and you can
my
see
goodness.
the burns on that video there.
20-year-old hikers warning others after heat stroke at the Grand Canyon. This is an interesting story. 20 years old, healthy, went down and realized that she did not have enough water. And she passed out, woke up. She had severe heat stroke, kidney failure, liver failure after collapsing. This was back in May, so the temperatures were like in the 80s. Flown out of the canyon after her family contacted search and rescue crews about 2 hours after she tripped and fell. And so again, those temps in the Grand Canyon can run 15 to 30 degrees warmer than the rim, if you believe it or not. And it kind of makes sense though, right? It's just kind of cooking down
like an
there.
oven, right?
Yeah, it's cooking down there.
All right, and this is a story that we have been following, kind of some new information coming out from the FBI. Kash Patel saying that the delay in getting the feds involved may have hindered in this investigation, especially when it comes to that electronic doorbell that she had outside. Kash Patel basically saying that if they had more time and got in there earlier, they could have maybe looked for other suspects or even possibly a getaway vehicle. So that is the number 3 most read story right now on our website.
Yeah, I think we'll have continued interest on that until hopefully someday we get some answers. Okay, Salvation Army, we want to talk a little bit about their SOS backpack drive. They do so much with water and food, but right now it's backpacks.
Yeah, it sure is. And so we have our friend Scott Johnson from the Salvation Army joining us here this morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. So let's talk about this. Fox 10 is a partner as well as KEZ.
Absolutely.
You guys in Fry's food stores, and this is such a big deal because we want to make sure that these kids have success when they start back to school.
It is,
right?
and you think about it, there's so many people dealing with so much today, families. You got to pay your rent. You have to pay your bills, utility bills, etc. You have medications that you need to pay for. So
and now gas prices are
gas
through the
prices
roof again.
are crazy. So things like school supplies can really get knocked down the totem pole. So the Salvation Army oftentimes is here to fill the gaps. So as you said, Ty, we're looking to give kids the tools for success. So backpacks, dry erase markers, pencils, pens, dry erase boards, composition books, things like that. That's what we're looking for. And when you think about these kids, we want to give them confidence as well. So think about a kid going to school that might not have the shiny new backpack that everybody else has. That kid is going to maybe have a little, be a little bit behind the 8 ball and kind of have that, bad feeling.
Yeah, it makes you feel a little bit bad.
Yeah.
I think we did something with school supplies and how to save money and that a couple weeks ago. And the average family will spend close to $1,000. We're talking about 2 kids. And that is, like clothes. But it feels like they need so much. And the supplies are expensive. And then also teachers need a little bit of help.
Yeah, if we can help stem the tide and help people to, have that extra money to pay the bills and the rent and all those other things, and to give kids a good start to the school year, that's what we're looking to do.
It's really easy to donate. Every Fry's food has the big donation bin, right?
Yep.
And have you guys been picking stuff up yet, or when is like the collection? I just want to kind of gauge how we're doing so far.
Yeah, so we won't know until the end of the drive, which is on July 26th. Okay. That'll be the last day, and then we'll collect everything from Fry's across the state. So thankful for them and the Fox 10 and for KEZ for doing this drive every year. And we also have monetary donations available. So if you can't get to a Fry's to drop off, you can go to Salvation Army salvationarmyphoenix.org, and just a couple of clicks and you can make a donation. There's actually some boxes there where it'll say $50 for one kid, $200 for more, things like that.
So you can
it's
allocate
easy to
how much. And
absolutely.
Years past, you guys have done this for so many years. How successful have these drives been?
We usually try to get about 5,000 backpacks and school supplies for kids across the valley, and even that has been difficult from time to time because of what we've talked about with the economy and inflation. Some people that might have been able to donate in the past, they may have to tighten their belts a little bit too. So we're grateful for anything anybody can.
Even a box of crayons or
absolutely.
a notebook will help.
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
Scott, walk us through. We got about a minute left. After you get all of this stuff, then how does this get divvied out to the kids in need?
Salvation Army identifies some schools that are in need or have families that are really in need, low income families and things of that nature. We also have Salvation Army after school programs and youth programs at our core community centers all across the state, so they can be helpful for kids that are in those programs as well. And the Salvation Army Phoenix Family Shelter has up to 24 families at any given time.
Wow.
So there are kids in our shelter that are going back to school that could benefit from these supplies as well.
One more time, you can donate at any fries, but on the website, in case
website is salvationarmyphoenix.org.
We appreciate it.
And then
Thank
real
you,
quick,
guys.
what's kind of the deadline when it's over?
So July 26th, and we're also having a Stuff the Bus event at the Fries on Stapley and McKellips this Saturday from 7 to 10. Fox 10 is going to be out there live, so everybody come out and support.
Thank you.
Thanks for all that you
guys.
do. We appreciate it. Yeah.
We were out there last year, and all the Fox 10 viewers were coming up and talking a little bit
it's
about
so fun to see the kids, too. They get so excited, don't they?
You ready for this?
All right, I'm ready for it.
Okay.
What year was it?
Correct.
Okay, get your thinking
Big
caps
pop
on.
question, pop quiz. Titanic movie premieres. I know.
You do know?
Yeah.
Gosh, I'm trying to rack my brain. I'm going to go 98.
Yes, that's my guess.
Okay.
98.
98.
January.
Oh, January. You even know the year or the month, I mean?
I'm going to
All
be
right.
very specific about it.
Lock in your guesses.
Don't cheat.
Don't cheat.
We're both going with 98.
Okay.
Did you cheat?
Me?
That's a good guess.
No, I
Okay.
wow. Very accusatory so early
I'm
in
not.
the
I'm just
afternoon
asking.
here,
I'm just
Anita.
asking. Okay, everyone, take a guess. We'll be right back. Everyone ready?
Okay, this was the question for today. Titanic movie premiered what year? And we got a lot of good guesses in there. We got someone saying 97 and 98. December of 97, very specific.
They're
I
probably
like that.
right. I think I was wrong with January of 98. I
We got a
remember seeing it
98,
then.
and then where else? We got some 97s in there. All right, so what's the
I'm
answer?
changing my answer to 97.
No, you can't do that after you saw everybody in the chat do it. You locked it in at 98.
Fine. I lose.
Let's see. Well, you don't know that.
97.
Oh, 97. So
No.
you did lose.
Yeah, I did lose. But you know what? So did you.
Yeah, that's true. I thought it was
But we were
98.
pretty darn close.
I thought
December
I
of
remember it was-
97 is the same as January of 98.
Do we have the month?
It was December.
It was December.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember going to see it for my birthday, which is in January.
January.
That's
December 19th.
Okay.
There you go.
it was
Now you
close. Okay, we want to retire as soon as possible.
know. We sure do.
So I didn't do that. I had it
it's
up.
the wrong button. You're
yeah,
right.
I
You're
know.
right. Sorry.
This is what happens when you're not supposed to control things.
We're good. There we go.
Tell him, Eric. Don't try to control things,
Eric is
except your
here.
money and your spending.
That's very true.
Right?
From All Wealth is here. We're talking about retirement. I guess right off the bat, what age should people start to think about retirement?
Now.
How old are you?
Well, I am 41 and I'm ready to retire.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people start thinking about retirement a lot earlier than what you would kind
need
of
to.
Do you think
expect,
that's
right?
changed?
Yeah, I think because now you're not in a the economy's changed and jobs have changed, and we
Yeah,
work for
the
30
world
years
is
and then you
different
get a
now than it was
pension,
like when
right?
my dad had a pension.
Yeah, and so you're now on your own a lot more, right? To do your own planning, to decide when you want to retire, when you're able to. 100%. So I think it's changed a lot because the majority of people don't have pensions any longer, like a guaranteed income source.
I was actually just talking about all of this with our photographer, Tom Fergus, as we were driving in from our live shot. And the retirement age, I said, is 67, used to be 65. And he said there's talk of them raising it to 70. Do you have to wait until you're 67? Obviously, it's all based on how much money you have, but what are the benefits of retiring early versus 67?
Great question. Yeah, and so, depending on the year you were born, your retirement age could be 65, 67. There's always talk about raising the retirement age based off of, everything that's going on with, Social Security and everything. I would not be surprised if there aren't, louder conversations about, again, raising the retirement age. That being said, a lot of the conversations that we have with people, they're not hinging their retirement on that specific allowed date. That's what the government considers full retirement age, in which larger Social Security benefits and things could benefit your retirement. That said, I would say when I think or talk to individuals or clients about planning a retirement that doesn't revolve around full retirement age, there's like 5 boxes that I usually tell people high level that they should check. And, to be honest, I would say about 3 of them are math or finance, and then the other 2 are more emotional. But usually, like if I were to ask you and say, how much do you think you need to retire? I bet you both, if you were to write it down, you would give me completely different answers, right?
Yeah, and then that's my next question is how do you even know how much money? Because
me
some
too.
people were saying you need at least $2 million to retire comfortably. Other people are saying you need $5 million in the bank in order to retire comfortably. So how do you even know what you would need in retirement?
That was going to be my question too.
Yeah, great. I think most of those things, like a lot of the talking head people that, sell books and whatnot and say you need $3 million, you need $5 million. I like to throw all that garbage or all of that stuff in the trash. Only because it's not really how to frame the conversation. I would say it's what you need to live off of, right? Because like mortgage, utilities, groceries, what are your fixed expenses? I think I made the joke before, like cover your mug, like mortgage, utility, groceries, but that's in all reality. So let's say your fixed expenses on a monthly basis at 62, not full retirement age, assuming your full retirement age is 67. What if it's $6,000 a month? Well, do you really need $2 million? Do you need $5 million if you really only need $6,000 a month to live off of? And then, what sort of fixed
She likes to shop too.
Well, so it might be $12,000.
Right.
For Anita.
Well,
for sure.
Yeah, you do. You have to establish what type of lifestyle you want to live or maintain.
Yeah, so I would say
or
number
achieve.
one, like the income that you need coming into your household, and where's that income coming from? Is it pension? Is it Social Security? Are there other sources of like guaranteed fixed style incomes? Then number 2, the second box is debts, right? I would argue I would rather have a $500,000 retirement nest egg with 0 debts and 0 mortgage than a $1 million retirement nest egg and a $4,000 a month mortgage payment, because any sort of savings or portfolio you have is going to have to work overtime in order to generate certain returns regardless of how the market's performing in order to cover your mortgage.
You read my mind on that, because I wanted to ask you about, let's say, you owe $100,000, I don't know, $200,000 on your house. Do you, you're in your mid 40s, do you continue to pay that, or do you take and invest more aggressively so that you can retire sooner and then continue paying on? Does that make sense? It's like, how important is it to pay off that mortgage before you start investing the money for retirement, if you can pick one?
Great question. I would say we could spend a full hour just diagnosing that specific piece itself, because there's going to be a lot of variables. Like, what's the interest rate on your mortgage, right?
Okay.
You know, a 6% interest rate on a $300,000 mortgage versus, if you're lucky enough to have, sub 3 because of things, there might not be quite the race. I would say, having a mortgage paid off in your 40s is much less important than having a mortgage paid off if you're trying to retire in your early 60s during what we call like your go-go years, where you still have your health and fitness and energy, because that's going to free up other things that you're going to have to pay for, like health insurance, right? Like, if you retire early, you won't traditionally have health coverage unless you're under your spouse's plan until 65. So how do you bridge that gap there? So the lower debts you have, and like a mortgage paid off in that example, is a pretty key box to check if you're thinking about whether or not you're ready.
Yeah. So I guess there's a ton of factors. There's 100%. No set number, is what you're basically saying. So you really do need to kind of sit down and be like, this is what I want my financial, snapshot to look like at this particular age, and then kind of, then go backwards, right?
100%. We call it a retirement snapshot, and we walk people through a process, but one is, income and expenses and cash flow based. One is debt based. Number 3 is, how are we going to cover the healthcare piece, right? That's usually a ball around everyone's neck. And then 4 and 5 is, honestly, it's the emotional piece.
Let me ask you this, because we've had you on before, and you're a big proponent of having an emergency fund.
Correct.
Does that follow into retirement too? Like, should you have a retirement fund so, heaven forbid, you get sick and you have mounting hospital bills or some, you know what I mean? Or
so you
maybe
can fall back on a retirement fund, not an emergency?
Yeah.
So in retirement, I would argue that your emergency fund needs to be bigger. So I would almost bifurcate the two, and you have your emergency fund, true emergencies, and then I would have a bridge fund. And that bridge is, let's say I'm going to collect Social Security 3 years from now. Well, I'm still going to need some sort of non-risky pool of funds that I can access to cover my lifestyle expenses for 3 years in order to bridge that gap through Social Security, et cetera.
So many rumors swirling around that Social Security isn't going to last. When you sit down and you plan with someone, different age groups, let's say 40s, 50s, 60s, how you have to take that into account. We don't know if it will be there. We don't know if it'll grow. We don't know what's going to happen to it. So can you really rely on that?
Yeah, great question. So the closer you are to the Social Security rainbow, probably the safer you are, right? And of course, I can never give a definitive answer. The farther away you are, do a lot of people in my industry ever think it's going to go away entirely? Probably not. I think that there's a lot of fear mongering out there around Social Security. Do I think that benefits could potentially be capped? Sure. Do I think that retirement ages can increase? Absolutely. Do I think taxes could increase on people working to cover Social Security? 100%. But anybody that pretends to have a crystal ball in that world would kind of be a liar. So, because there's no way to know. So your plan shouldn't be 100% Social Security, if I'm answering your question straight up correct.
Let me ask you this. We've got like the Roth IRAs, the 401ks. Is there, I guess, certain, because the Roth you can't touch till you're what age? That's a little bit later in life, right? Isn't that like, or do I have this backwards?
So there's nuances to
it.
Traditionally, again, high level, without speaking to anybody's specific circumstance, most retirement accounts, which would be, IRA, 401k, Roth, etc., you're not supposed to access until you're 59 and a half. Each of the individual retirement accounts that we're talking about, there are different rules in which you could potentially access it for early early retirement, hardships, things like that. But both of them are true or traditionally true retirement accounts.
Gotcha. Okay.
But the rules are going to vary, whether it's a Roth or a 401k, et cetera. So that's why I try to steer people away from some of the like the talking head advice on social media that's giving
like
you
what I was just reading you.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to throw you under
and let
the
me
bus.
see if I and that's but that's why I took a screenshot of it for that reason, because this is just some random person saying setting aside $300 from each paycheck into a Roth IRA instead of your 401k will turn into $1.36 million tax free and will pay you $93,000 in income every year
But starting
in retirement.
at what age? What if you're 90?
What age? What salary? What year are you retiring? How far is this money going to go? And this is not, I guess, a perfect science is what
Sure.
it is. You have to be looking at this daily, weekly, checking everything.
Yeah, I mean, I made the joke last time that I had more square dancing lessons than I ever had in personal finance, right? So I think, when you get blanket advice like that, like there's a few things that are left out, and that's why I don't love social media for that. It doesn't tell you what age. It doesn't tell you what assumed rate of return is.
Yeah.
Is it a 200% annual rate of return? The other piece is not everybody the way that the rules are laid out based off of your current income should be contributing to a Roth versus a traditional, right? Like there's, your tax rate today
Sure.
that you're going to have to take into account. So there's a lot of different variables that just taking a piece of advice like that in a bubble or in a silo without looking at the whole picture can end up burning you in the end.
That's why it's good to hire someone like you.
I couldn't agree
Well,
more.
I mean, you need some. The hard part is finding someone you can trust. I think that's been my biggest thing is I don't know where to go, because how do you know they're really working on your behalf versus the company's behalf? It's tough.
Yeah, I think that there are great questions. So
We have 30 seconds before we have to say goodbye.
If you do certain online research, like you can Google top 5 questions to interview a financial advisor, I would look into those, because a lot of them are whether or not there's a fiduciary standard, whether or not you're beholden to a bank versus the client's best interest.
Eric, real quick, how do folks get a hold of you?
You can go to allwealthplanning.com, or if you want some of our free education, you can go to our YouTube page, Permission to Retire on YouTube.
Free education, very important.
Eric,
Thank you
thanks for
so
coming
much.
in.
Appreciate it. We'll see you guys in a bit.
now. We got some live pictures coming in. We're going to take you there. President Trump is announcing a new initiative to make sure that data centers provide their own electricity and it doesn't hit ratepayers. Let's listen in. This is just happening live.
Candidate, I will tell you, he is doing things at levels, and by the way, everything perfectly. He's totally into the environment, but he's getting things done in 2, 3, 4 weeks that used to take years and years. And people are getting their approvals, and they're building buildings. We're building more buildings now, plants, and all sorts of manufacturing capability that we've never done anywhere near it many, many times. And companies are pouring in. Toyota, the other day, as you know, announced that they're moving into our country from Mexico. They're going to be, I think, closing up a lot of their operation, maybe all of it in Mexico. They're moving to this country. We have we have more car plants being built now in the United States than at any time in history. And, you know, we went years before me. We went many years with no car plant being built. I mean, they wouldn't even think about building in this country. Now, we're the hot, same thing with chips. We'll have about 50% by the time this term is over. We're going to have probably 50% of the chip market. A year ago, when we began, we had no chip market. We had virtually none other than Intel. We had Intel. And we made a purchase of 10% of Intel. We got it for the right price. And we made approximately $72 billion on that deal. So it was good. Do I get credit for that one? No. I get no credit. None. So we did that, and we made a lot of great deals.
All right, so we're watching the president, very interesting, announcing this. They're calling it the Ratepayer Protection Pledge. I was monitoring some of this speech a little bit earlier. The bottom line is nobody in the country wants to see a data center come into their neighborhood and raise their rates. I mean, they're being built, and there are a lot of great things about AI, maybe some not so great things too. But the bottom line is we've seen a few areas of the country where they try to then raise the rates on people who are just living their lives because they happen to be near a data center. So this whole idea is that is not going to be allowed to happen anymore. And in fact, you're going to have to build your own power plant, I guess you could say, and then take all the excess power that you're not using and put it back on the grid. So that's the game plan, and we will watch to see how all of that unfolds. Good morning, everybody. Ron and Des.
Good morning.
And the fastest 30 minutes in the streaming world. It's funny how so often we do this half hour, Des, and we're like, whoa, that was it?
Yeah, it flies by. We try to pack the show with a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah.
Some important news that you need to know with the president there, and some fun stuff, too, that we're doing.
You have really had fun today,
oh, my
everywhere
goodness.
you've been.
I know. I got quite lucky this week. Okay, I've covered food since Monday.
Right.
And today we were at an Italian restaurant, Marino's, at Desert Ridge, featuring their menu and putting together a cheese board. And then we went to Jingle at the JW, just a preview of what they do for Christmas.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That was fun.
That's really great. And you know something else that's happening live? We're going to take you there right now. Our Annalisa has been out there through the morning. We're going to check in with her to see what's going on at Harvest Compassion. Now, they have 4 locations across the valley. And a lot of our folks are out there today literally rolling up their sleeves and trying to help out. But we want to find out what's going on today and what this organization's all about.
Yeah, and how involved Fox is. So we're excited to say hello to Annalisa here this morning and loop her in and just check in to see how the day's going. What is Harvest Compassion, Annalisa, and what are folks busy there doing this morning?
Yeah, hey guys, this is such a great organization. There's 4 locations, and like you said, our Fox 10 employees have been here helping families really get to pick out groceries that they need, any clothing that they need. And I just want to bring in the executive director, Nicole. She can tell us all about it. Tell us a little bit about what we're doing here today.
Yes, well, we're having fun, number one, right?
So true.
We're feeding families. We're able to offer grocery items, hygiene items, clothing, and hopefully back to school brand new gym shoes to anyone in the community community.
And you guys, I just need to tell you that our volunteers have been here since, I don't even know, some at like 7-ish.
They came early,
Yeah.
I will say, and they're working hard. We're making them work today. It's a very busy day. I think they've heard about us now. Some people are showing up, and Fox team is working really hard.
Oh, well, thank you for having us. We appreciate it. And let's bring in one of our Fox employees. We have Trenton here, a stream regular.
Hello, guys. Good morning. Whoa, we're having fun out here.
Yeah, he's really been helping you, a personal shopper.
It's nice she says I'm helping. See, I'm trying to help.
I know.
It's more like I'm around.
Well, tell us what this experience has been like this morning.
Well, it's great. I mean, we get to help out so many awesome people, and getting to know the folks that are out here is more than half the fun. So we'll walk around with them, see what they need, hook them up, and get them going. But the best part of this is seeing my bosses try to work. That's the better part. See, you can't even see them right now.
They're running
trying to
away
do
from
that,
the camera.
I'm telling you, I did see it once or twice. Neil Wolf was there. It was incredible.
It was incredible. And you still have a full day of work after this.
So they tell me. I'm looking forward to it. There he is.
There he is.
Streaming debut. What a way to debut. That's, I think, the better part. So, yeah, let's...
He's putting in a little IFB so he can hear.
Wow, incredible.
I don't know.
They've been out here all morning, and we really.
I was going to say to that, you guys, well, you know why Neil helped hire some of us as he's running away from the camera there.
Yeah, we'll put him on the spot.
Yes.
Trenton, last hour he ran away from Annalisa, so at least you guys are having a little more success
Out the door.
with this level of executive actually being in the building.
It's concerning behavior, Ron, for sure. I'm watching him take a break, and double the time he should have, really. Yeah.
Keep a note. This did not come from me. This just kidding. I'm still new. I can't get in trouble.
Well,
Our comments here,
Annalisa,
for the record.
let's see. You are new, so I think General Manager Mike Lewis might cut you a break. I saw him there behind you. Yeah, look at he's over there with John Nutzel. Who, I mean, you know, John has been on the show quite a bit.
Yeah, okay, John, you're also a stream regular. Tell us how this experience is going this morning.
Hold on a second. It's going great. Yeah, serving a lot of people, helping a lot of people, and just it's great. Yeah, we're moving.
Yeah, he's been here for hours, and follow us. Mike, our GM, got a special shout out, so we have to show him from Desiree and Ron. You've been working all morning. What has this day been like for you?
Oh, this has been fantastic. The need is great, and people like the Harvest Center do such a wonderful job, and I don't know where we would be without folks like them.
Yeah, and you guys helping out. Thank you so much.
That's so great.
We got some of our bosses.
That's great.
That was awesome.
And I loved last time we chatted with you a little bit. You were in there with the executive director, and they've got locations kind of scattered across the valley. That's one of the main things people need to know.
Yeah, they have 4 locations. One of them is newer, and what's really cool about this place, as you can see, it's really a shopping experience. So people get to go around, pick what they want, and it's kind of an elevated, dignified experience, which is pretty unique and something that you can see really bring smiles to people who are in here.
Yeah, we do a lot, with the food bank, and we know they do the food boxes, and those are great, and I'm sure so many people are appreciative of that. But I did like that you mentioned, and we're seeing that there's items on the shelves, so they get to come in and kind of have control to pick the things that they want. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, and what's brought a smile to my face is I saw some kids here in the clothing boutique trying on different backpacks and really getting to pick out which backpack they want to bring back to school, and that was really fun to see as well.
All right. Well, the website is, I believe it's harvestcompassion.org. Does that sound right to you, Annalisa?
Oh, look at her, that beautiful little girl.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that she doesn't like the camera light.
Oh, she's so beautiful.
So great.
Yeah, head over to their website. You can learn how to get connected.
Yep.
Okay.
If you need their services or you want to help out, either way.
Yeah.
Thank you, Annalisa.
Thank you. And coming right on time, Arizona is actually been the hardest hit state when it comes to the loss of SNAP benefits. We have over 400,000 Arizonans suffering because the pullback on those, and a lot of them children too. So that's great. They get to go in and get what they need.
These guys are really stepping up. It's so great. Hey, I don't know the last time you had a delivery from Amazon, Des, but this story today will certainly make you think twice before just randomly ripping open a package.
I laughed because that's almost daily, Ron. Yesterday?
I'm sure, yeah. So a family over in Cali is urging people to be careful after their 3-year-old was bitten by a snake hiding beneath an Amazon package just outside their house. Just outside the front door. Family says the snake bit the girl's hand when she reached for she's 3 years old. She's just trying to be a helper. Hey, there's a package. I'll go get it.
Oh, they don't know any better, right? They're so little. I have to stop my littles from doing that too. Even I know this is gonna make some people cringe, but we keep shoes in the garage.
Yeah.
It's kind of like our gym space. But even that, I'm like checking the kids' shoes for, scorpions or whatever might be in them because the kids don't know any better. They just, grab it, they'll throw them on or grab the package and find a snake underneath.
Well, it's a good reminder for all of us to check around the packages. Because especially here in the Valley, we are well known for our snake population, whether it's the rattlers or some of the other ones. You just got to be careful. By the way, speaking of animals, Des, next time you are catching a flight at Sky Harbor, maybe you'll have a chance to chill with the zoo at the airport.
How fun
are
would
we
that
talking
be?
about here? It's really quite incredible. Matter of fact, listen to a little bit about what they were saying.
Today we've got a few. We've got a spectacle owl named Tikal. We've got a red tegu named Ruby. That's just a big old lizard. And then we've got a few ferrets right behind me. We've got an oryx. And we've got some smaller creepy crawlies like a tarantula and some beetles.
We also offer different hands-on activities, crafts, people can color, people can paint rocks, and so on. So it's lots of fun.
Wow, can they just set up permanently at the airport?
Look at
I mean, this is like a lifesaver for families with layovers.
Yeah, and
This
a
is
lot of
great
people
thing.
kind of stress, I think, when they got a flight coming up.
Yeah.
Well, pretty hard to stress when instead you're just watching the ferrets or whatever crawl through the tubes and you're petting the turtles. Way to go, Phoenix Zoo, for partnering with the airport.
How neat. And learning about native wildlife, right? I mean, if you're from New York, you're not seeing that lizard there.
Yeah, you're thinking, okay, maybe I'll buy a little miniature cactus.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, I can see some of the cool desert animals
That's
right
so
in front of my very own
So that
eyes.
program is the Culture Corner program. So look for that if you're headed to the airport soon.
Mystery Cam time now. We'll take a quick break. Give us your guesses. All right, we are ready for your guesses. As a matter of fact, Des, we got a bunch of them coming in this morning from Michigan to Alabama and North Carolina. Those are just a few guesses.
Those are good guesses.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
It's a good place to start. Yeah. Jennifer getting in a guess at Iowa, too.
Okay.
And she goes, I haven't gotten one right in a while.
Yeah. This is interesting because something about it says it's somewhere in the South. To me, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be all the way up in Michigan, but I like that Alabama guess.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking?
I was trying to take clues from the weather.
Okay.
But that's not helping me.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
I'm trying to think where it's been kind of cloudy.
I'm just going to give Jenna, I'm going to throw in some more girl power in the vibes there. I'm going to go with her, say it's Iowa, and I'm crossing my fingers. Hope
there you
for the
go.
best.
We got a Bama and an Iowa, and we are ready for the answer right here.
Let's see. Jenna, are we right? Oh, we are wrong. It's
What do you got?
Logansport.
In Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one guessed that, did they?
No, we never guessed Louisiana.
Yeah, we don't guess Louisiana.
We guess a
quite
lot
often.
of Bama, a lot of Florida, that kind of thing. Okay, well, that's super cool. I will tell you, I feel like everybody should go to New Orleans once. The history there is incredible. They have the great National World War II Museum. Did I ever tell you? So I went there. They have 5 buildings. Each tells a separate part of the story, like the battle in the Pacific, the battle in Europe, how all the airplanes are on display at a different one. There's a big movie theater. They have these 5 different buildings, and in 2 days I made it through 2 of them.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. So
captured your attention, huh?
yeah, for sure. All right. So if I told you that we have one of our most popular guests on our regular morning TV show,
Yes.
Famisha,
Yep.
now finally joining us for FTT Fox 10 Talks, we would all celebrate for sure.
And she's not kicking our butts right now, so that's a win too.
Right.
We love this is different.
What is this sitting mess?
What is
I
this?
know, right?
How are you?
I'm fabulous, thank you.
Good.
How are you guys doing?
Good. Glad
Really
to see you
good.
today.
Tell us about your shirt.
So I am wearing Eastern Washington. Yes, track and field. I'm a proud mom. My son is a decathlete there. He just finished his freshman year. He competed at the indoor and outdoor, and he scored for the team.
Okay.
But for Prince Millman, if he's not on the podium, he didn't do well. So this year, big things. Big things.
Okay.
So I've been training.
Did you kind of set that standard for him? He's just kind of born and bred with that?
You know, I think so because he's a straight A student. It's all about work hard, play hard.
Mm-hmm.
So you work hard, which means you grind in your homework, in your studies, in your training, and then you have time to play after all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he's already winning. I go home and I tell my husband about you. I'm like, Famisha is such a wonderful mother. Like,
thank
her
you.
son is just so respectful. He's doing so well. So kudos to you. You guys
Thank
have done a
you.
great job. And you helped coach him.
I do, yeah. I've coached him since he was 7 years old. When he was 3, we did Fitness is Fun with Your Kids, and he was like little Prince going, okay, mommy, I had him doing push-ups at 3. But at 7 years old is when he said, I want to do track, and we just put him in a meet, and we were shocked. He ran the 100, and he beat maybe 80 kids. He won. Like I said, I know he won his heat, and my husband said, no, he won one. Like he won overall. And then we put him in the 2, and he also, right now, he's actually a 400-meter dash specialist. But for that first year, I'm going to clown him because I can. He would cry the first 200 meters. He would, and then he'd say, you know what, I got to finish. And he would go and he would win.
Wow.
So, and then he started to get excited about doing multis. He started with the triathlon, then the pentathlon, and then the decathlon, and now he's a collegiate decathlete.
Wow.
I love the fact that we are sharing so many stories because I went to Eastern my first couple of years here, and then I transferred to UW. Talk about the Huskies all the time. Those are 2 of the major schools in the state of Washington. Eastern Washington, you have Central, you have Western Washington. They got a lot of colleges up at Washington State, the University of Washington. But when you found out that he was going to be attending the school, tell us how you kind of I guess maybe gradually fell in love with the campus and the people there.
Yes. Well, first, after I got through the punch in the gut, because we are very close, you know, he's a mama's boy, and I'm like, he's leaving me and going thousands of miles away. I fell in love with the campus. Is beautiful. First of all, they have seasons there. You know, Arizona season is hot.
That's right. That's right.
I love that they had seasons. I loved immediately the coach. We fell in love with the coach because, you know, we trusted her. She said, I want to build my program, my multi-program around him, which I was like, okay, you know, and I just really like that they had his major and his minor, because he majors in business management, but he minors in coaching because he wants to be a coach someday.
Oh, amazing.
Wow. And he actually, I hired him, he's my assistant coach right now. We work with a lot of student athletes, and he helps me coach them too, so he's getting that experience.
Well, and I love that, because not a lot of great athletes necessarily, you would think it fits, that transition into coaching just makes sense, but not a lot of great athletes enjoy the coaching role, and it is hard.
It's very
hard.
hard.
So that's amazing, and to be able to learn as a young athlete from another athlete who's going through it all, it's like invaluable. But you also own Glisten Girls Fitness. So you train the average day person
I do. I
speed
train,
and strength coach as well.
Yes, so I train the moms out there that say, girl, I just want to lose weight.
Girl, I just had 4 kids, help me.
Okay, basically, I have my Desirees, but girl, you look so good. So good. But I train men as well, so you know, I don't discriminate against men.
Correct.
But
We can glisten.
Yeah, men. Well, the men sweat, the women glisten. Yeah, so I train, you know, regular people as well.
Yeah.
I train, but I really love working with my athlete. I love my clients. I have some loyal clients that have been training with me for 17 plus years.
Wow.
They've literally watched my son grow up. But I really love fitness. I'm passionate about it. It's a lifestyle. You know, when people tell me I want to lose weight, I'm all, let's get you there and then let's maintain. Let's maintain, feel good about yourself. I don't know what it's like not to work out. We already did hot yoga this morning. It makes you mentally de-stress immediately.
Yeah.
So I train out of my studio in my home. I train athletes at my studio in my home, and I also take them out to the park, and I do a lot of stuff at the park, drills and hills and stuff like that. And I run a boot camp, which is open to everyone. I'm actually running one this Saturday morning with my son at Discovery Park. So anything related to fitness, I'm all about it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I am loving this so much. What I'm going to do, you're motivating me to go back through my shoe boxes and find a picture of my dad, because he ran track at Eastern in the 1940s. He went to Eastern on a hurdling scholarship. He was like a state champ hurdler, or close to a state champ anyway. And that's where he met my mom. She was working at Tawanka Commons, where they, where you get your food every lunch hour. Their whole love story is all intertwined with Eastern. But, and that was almost a century ago, right? Around 1940s.
Wow. Amazing.
So it's a really highly respected and just beloved program up there. So if your kids are looking for a place to go to school, it's a great one.
Oh, they take care of their athletes.
You know what? Let's bring him in. We've been talking about it for the last. Come here. Do you want to be on?
Oh, come on.
The audience is like,
the frame.
Just
Prince
come in
is
and
how
wave.
tall?
Just wave.
Well, Prince is 6 foot
right here.
6.
Come right here and just give us a wave.
He makes my 6'1" self look tiny.
Here, next to Des.
All right, he didn't want to be seen, but here he is. This is my pride and joy, Prince.
Yeah. Your mom, she's tough, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's an understatement.
So great. All right, well, go Screaming Eagles.
Oh, yeah. Hey, if anybody watching that's from the Eagles, go Eagles! And then you got it.
Yeah.
All right,
Thanks for the cameo, Prince. Oh, he's awesome. And, well, I like how you mentioned, because obviously, well, you were an athlete too.
Yeah,
so you are already incredible in and of yourself.
So what a lot of people don't know about me, let me give one fun fact that I never talk about.
You don't, because you talk a lot about Prince.
I know, Prince, everybody's like, did you have a life? I promise you I did. I was a collegiate athlete, and a lot of people don't know this. I did not touch a basketball till the age of 15, and I got a full athletic scholarship to a D2 school.
So what does that prove?
So that proves hard work. Listen, that's why I tell my son, you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. But that means I didn't get to go hang out at the mall. I was grinding every day after school over the summer. I was going and playing club ball, but I got my dream accomplished. And so after I did that, then I also was a professional wrestler. So it was called Wow Women of Wrestling. My character name was Slam Dunk, which you can still see on YouTube, by the way. If you type in Slam Dunk versus, let me just throw one match out there, Slam Dunk versus Asian Invasion, you will see me. I was mean. And the thing is that the storyline about Slam Dunk is she was kicked out of the WNBA for her bad attitude. And I mean, I was the most hated character on the show because I was very arrogant. Oh, it was so fun to do. I would come out.
What a cool role to play.
I
like
loved
totally
it.
opposite of who you are naturally.
And then they would say I'm 6'3". I'm not 6'3", but everyone believed it because I would step over the top rope and I would just trash talk.
Oh, that's so
I mean,
funny.
so I, collegiate basketball, professional wrestler, so I know about the grind. And then fitness has just been my whole life.
I think when you make it part of your life, it's fun. And I mean, my husband was a former NFL running back, and my son, who's now 6, is taking an interest in football. And we get some criticism from the family. They're like, you already got him in football training. He's only 6.
They don't get it.
But what do you say to that when, so many people will see these kids starting at the age of 3 doing push-ups or starting training that early?
Des,
what do you say?
I can so relate. Everybody, even some of my family members, thought that we were pushing
You were probably being
Prince.
too hard on him.
And I'm like, do you understand? I train clients all day. At the end of the day, Famisha wants to chill. This child will not let me. I want to go train. Can I go do long jump practice? Can I go sprint? So he showed us at an early age he wanted to do this. And he showed a gift for it too. And if you see a gift, and your son, I mean the genetics, so you know your son has the gift.
Right.
You just tune out the background noise. These people don't understand. You know when they'll get it? When they're about 16 years old and your son is still passionate. Because when people started coming to boot camps and I let Prince take over boot camp, and they'd see him whisper to me and they'd be like, oh gosh, why are we doing 5 more heels? Because Prince wanted 5 more heels. Not Famisha being evil. Her son wanted to do 5 more heels. So
you could just tell. They're born with the love for that.
And you just have to continue to say, you know what, I'm sorry you don't get it, but my child wants to do this.
Oh, yeah, any parent, right? If their child's asking and you see that spark in their eye, you want to do the best you can.
Okay, we got to wrap it up, but how do people find out more about you?
Oh, people can find me on Instagram at FitDivaFamisha. They can also go to my website at glistengirlsfitness.com. It'll show stuff. My student athlete training is called Slay Squad, so they can connect with me through that as well. If people want me to work with their student athletes, I'm a speed and strength specialist.
Okay.
So that's what I do. If they want their kid to be stronger and faster, they want to contact me.
Okay.
Great.
Perfect. Famisha, always good to see you.
Loved having you in today. Thank you,
Go
Prince, for the cameo. See you, everybody.
Great job.